Hi guys, I wanted to talk to you about our homeschool curriculum choices for this year and why I chose what I chose and why I'm a little bit concerned about it, but we'll see how it goes. There's Sarah. So I wanted to go a different route this year. In years past, we've kind of done more of a classical / traditional curriculum where we've done a lot of workbooks and things like that. And it's worked, but it hasn't been necessarily fun. And we just kind of been chugging along and we've covered everything. It just hasn't been a lot of fun. And every day it's, oh, how many more books do we have to do? How many more books? You know, they just want to check it off and get it done. And I want them to actually enjoy what we're doing. And every year when I'm looking for homeschool curriculum, I am drawn to Heart of Dakota. I actually purchased it last year and returned it. Well, I bought it used and then I sold it just because my main concern is the religious aspect. We are LDS, so the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or Mormon, as most people would call us. And while we are Christian, we don't necessarily teach things, use the same vernacular and things like that as some other Christians do, as well as I don't subscribe or believe in a young earth theory. So with that in mind, Heart of Dakota is very much young earth, and I decided to do it, but I know that I won't be able to use any guides past this because they get much more into that, whereas the ones that we'll be using this year don't. I've very much always wanted to utilize Charlotte Mason methods in my homeschool. Sarah, go sit. She just wants to be in the video and to see what I'm doing. I've always wanted to use Charlotte Mason methods, but I haven't really been brave enough and organized enough to plan it out myself. Can you go? I know, you just want to be with me. All right, so I think that this will be a good bridge year for me to kind of get me into more doing read alouds and shorter lessons and narration and copy work and all those things that go with Charlotte Mason that I haven't been able to implement into my homeschool, so that next year I can go on to, simply Charlotte Mason and Ambleside and things like that and hopefully make my own. You stop it. So I'll show you what we'll be doing for the year and how some things that we'll be adding and all that stuff. So let me turn this around and show you the spread. So here's all our curriculum. And I'll start with kindergarten. For this one, she was 5 in February, so she'll be 5.5 starting kindergarten, which I think will be a good age. Please go. For her, we're going to be using Little Hearts for His Glory, and this one is for ages 5 to 7. She's right there in the middle. The Bible that goes with it, we'll be using the Family Time Bible, Sarah, and then also the Hide 'Em in Your Heart Volume 1 CD, and I don't know what this is. We'll see if we like it or not, but she's more hands-on and she likes to do more play stuff and dancey stuff and things like that. So I went ahead and got the CD. She's knocking things over. Okay, then for the read alouds.
I can do this.
I will, let me show them. The read alouds are the adventures, it's all the Burgess books. So we have The Adventures of Reddy Fox, The Adventures of Danny Meadow Mouse. This one's Beatrix Potter, Peter Rabbit, and 11 Other Favorite Tales. The Adventures of Peter Cottontail. This one's Burgess, The Adventures of Chatterer the Red Squirrel. The Adventures of Grandfather Frog. The Adventures of Jerry Muskrat, and The Adventures of Buster Bear. Then for science, it's The World God Made, which is put out by Christian Liberty Press. For history, it's The History Stories for Children, which is also Christian Liberty Press. History for Little Programs, which is also Christian Liberty Press. Then these are from Rod and Staff that go with it. The Going On Eagerly and the Just Thinking and Choosing. Those are part of the preschool like ABC series, so the preschool and kindergarten series. For handwriting, it comes with handwriting with a reason for handwriting, and I got the K. And then math would be the Singapore Essentials Math, and we have A and B. So that all came from Heart of Dakota. And then the only other thing that we'll be doing instead of one of the phonics programs that they suggested, we're using the All About Reading Level 1. So that is for kindergarten. Now, okay, Sarah, you've got to let me do this on my own. Thank you. Now for my boys, who will be 8 in August. I have twins. We're using the Bigger Hearts for His Glory. And that is suggested for ages 7 to 9. So they're technically going to be a 3rd grade level, I guess. I know it doesn't really matter in homeschool, but so it's 3rd grade, and so we'll have some 3rd grade stuff and some 2nd grade stuff mixed in, just based on what I felt their levels were. Hey! You need to go sit down. Okay, so that's the teacher's manual. For their math, I went with Singapore. So the 3A, this is the textbook, then their workbooks. Then there's a 3B textbook and workbooks. And then I bought this for the summer. They've been going through it, and we'll probably keep going through it next, through the school year. It's just Kumon subtraction for grade 2. And it's just subtraction problems. But just for practice so that they can get those memorized, those subtraction facts. That's math. So everything there was from Heart of Dakota except for the Kumon book. Then this is also from Heart of Dakota for English.
Why did you get 2 of those?
From Rod and Staff, it's English 2. I bought 2 of them, which I realized after the fact that I probably did not need to buy 2 since they don't write in here. They'll write on paper. But I figure I'll use 1 and then they can use 1. So that'll work. So that's from Rod and Staff, and it came with the Heart of Dakota program. Then Cheerful Cursive. And that came from Heart of Dakota as well. Then the reader or the storytime books we'll be using are these ones. So, and I'll tell you what subject they each go with. So, Ben and Me, An Astonishing Life of Benjamin Franklin, told by his good mouse Amos. This is in the biography genre. Then we have Come On Seabiscuit, which is adventure. Justin Morgan Had a Horse is historical fiction. I love you too. Rabbit Hill is fantasy. Encyclopedia Brown, Boy Detective, is mystery. Balto and the Great Race is nonfiction. Homer Price is humor. Rascal is fiction. And The Whipping Boy is folktales.
Why is there a bell?
So those are the storytime books.
Why is there a bell?
Then for history,
the books that came with it are, sorry that you can't read that, the first book in American history, and stories of great Americans for little Americans, the story of the Wright brothers and their sister, and this one is a Christian Liberty Press book also. And then Journeys in Time, a new atlas of American history. That's part of the history. And then I got the science add-on, which came with Thomas Edison, or Thomas A. Edison, young inventor, John Audubon, young naturalist, a pioneer sampler, and it says the daily life of a pioneer family in 1840. Science in Colonial America, and then 2 of the One Small Square books. So we have Seashore and Woods. And I'm excited because we live in the woods, so this will be a good one for us. So that's everything that came with the Heart of Dakota. Then the things that I'm changing up or doing differently, instead of using their emerging readers or their Drawn in the Heart of Reading, we're going to continue using the Pathway Reader books from Rod and Staff. We have not been very good about reading these every day, but I have them. So we're going to do the grade 2 books this year and get those finished. And I'm actually planning it out in my planner to make sure we read every day and read enough pages every day to get done. Then I got Easy Peasy's reader. So this is the second reader. And in here, they'll be reading, I'll show you, there's poetry, The City Zoo, The Adventures of Old Mr. Toad, short stories, The Adventures of Jimmy Skunk, short stories, 50 famous stories, The Bobbsey Twins at Snow Lodge, and 30 more famous stories.
It's almost my brother's birthday.
Yeah, in a month. So yeah, so there's just different poems, and each day there's just kind of questions that go along with it.
I'm 5.
Yeah, 10, you're 5. There's a workbook that goes with it, and you don't do this every day. It's just for vocabulary.
I thought you sent that.
And the vocabulary goes with the City Zoo, and I think just a couple of the other. It's not for everything. Old Mr. Toad has vocabulary too. So it kind of goes with the books that they'll be reading. So, and it's just little crosswords and stuff to learn their vocab. Then we'll continue with All About Spelling Level 2. Instead of using the spelling lists or dictation that come in Heart of Dakota. And then Heart of Dakota does have vocabulary in it, and I picked up this dictionary. It's the American Heritage Student Dictionary by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. I got it on Amazon used. It looks like a standard dictionary. And then I also would like to add in somehow, this is the A Child's Story of the Book of Mormon, and there are 4 volumes in here, and we've started reading it, and it's a lot of fun. It just turns the Book of Mormon into story format, makes it like a storybook so that they can remember the stories better. So I just want to read that a couple times a week, just start reading the stories to them so that they can remember the Book of Mormon better. I want to go through this with my boys. It is Good Pictures, Bad Pictures, and it is teaching kids how to avoid pornography, especially since they're getting older, so that they don't accidentally come across it on the internet and look and linger on it. It's teaching them to recognize that it's a bad picture and to close it and turn it off. So I want to go through that, and it's really short. We could go through it in a week. And the last thing, I bought this a few months ago. It's a child's book of character building, and this is book 1. So we could just read through this
Hi.
too. And it's character traits. Each.
Hi.
So, you know, like attentive,
I'm
and then
Bella.
there's different, it talks about being attentive in the Bible and at home at the
my name
school.
is S-A-I-A-H.
So there's different character traits. And I know they kind of do those in Heart of Dakota too, but we have this, so it'd be nice to read it. And it's not very long. So that's that. That's everything that I got. I also have binders for each kid.
Which one is for me again?
The pink one. And for
How
me,
does it my pink one?
I got the Ultimate Homeschool Planner, and I've already started planning things out. So I can do a review of this after I've used it for a little bit and tell y'all how I like it. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.